Surviving as a single mother in LA has lots of ups and downs. And right here at Focus TV Network on the show today, I have influencer, mother, model, and photographer, Krystle Lina, to talk to us a little bit about her journey. So welcome to the studio.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure to have you. And your journey is one that's quite different from most moms.
Yes, today I'm officially coming out of the closet as a mother. I've never publicly announced it. I've been a model for 15 years, and now I'm finally letting people know I have 2 kids. I have a 16-year-old son, and my 13-year-old son will be 14 in another month and a half. So yeah, it definitely goes by quick.
And why now? Why have you waited so long to let your followers know that you're a mother?
Honestly, I wanted to respect the privacy of my children. Initially, when I first started modeling back in the MySpace days, I did post a couple pictures of my boys, and I was shamed by a lot of people. They were basically telling me that I was a slut and a whore, and that I needed to get back basically in the kitchen and take care of my kids and get off the internet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was horrible. I honestly didn't want to deal with being shamed again, and I didn't want my kids to ever feel publicly humiliated or have someone shame my kids for any of their ups and downs going through adolescence or anything like that. So I wanted them to be able to have their privacy and be children. So I've kept them 100% separate and out of my Instagram, my Facebook, all my social media stuff.
Wow, that takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, it was really difficult for a long time because I would love to have just been like, oh, these are my boys. I love them so much. But, you know, just out of respect for them, you know, they didn't ask for their mom to be a public figure. I've worked with a lot of celebrities. I've taken them with me to a lot of events. They've gone to the Playboy Mansion. They've been to a lot of professional photo studios. They've been around a lot of models. They've actually met and worked with a lot of celebrities themselves. And, you know, my son, I take him to red carpets. He takes all my BTS for me. And, you know, so they're very much aware of what I do and who I am, but, you know, they don't want anything to do with social media. They're not thirsty trying to be Insta famous. They are actually both very interested in being cameramen, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you put them to work behind the scenes.
Yeah, basically. I teach them all the stuff that I know about, like photography and videography. My older son is in the digital club at his school, so he's learning cinematography. He's filming like all the football games.
Incredible.
And yeah, and so this is something that they're both very passionate about, but you know, they're not interested in trying to be famous themselves, which is, you know, pretty cool. So
you've obviously role modeled well for them, and you've raised them in a way that they don't have that thirst to have the, you know, 30 seconds of fame.
Right. Yes, exactly. Actually, they do see a lot of what I go through. I've been very honest with them too, because, you know, I knew that they were going to be teenage boys at some point, and I was basically very honest with them about even the type of photos I get from grown men and kids their age. I was like, please do not ever send disgusting photos of yourself to young girls because it's inappropriate. And I get a lot of that on the daily in my Instagram DM.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, ew, no, I wouldn't, you know, that is disgusting. So I'm glad that I've been very upfront with them, but I still feel like I've tried to do my best to keep them somewhat sheltered, just, you know, by giving them their privacy.
Right, but I think they're in an age now where these things are beneficial. You sharing these things, you're being a really great mom because you're being proactive and saying to them, this is the do not list.
Right.
You do not do these things.
Exactly.
And you are this beautiful woman, and you have 1.5 million followers, and there are a lot of eyes on you. And so you are going to have a lot of craziness going on.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, they're just very understanding, and they know that a lot of what I do as well, like just with filming or photo shoots, a lot of it's for the gram, you know, it's for content. So they know that I have my real side. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
absolutely. And so you said earlier that you've taken the boys to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
And how old were they? And how did that all work out for them? I can only imagine, like, that would be a dream come true for any teenage boy.
Yeah, when they were small, they didn't know any better. So I used to take them every year for Easter because I was in Playboy. I was a friend of Hef, and I used to take the kids to the mansion with my mom. And, you know, they just had a ball. They liked, you know, all the animals and everything that was going on there. But, you know, they really didn't know.
They didn't know what was going on.
They didn't know any better. Yeah, they're hanging out with celebrity kids, and you know, to them it's just a fun place to be. They were like, wow, this place is so big. And as a matter of fact, my 16-year-old, when he was 5, he told one of the room moms in his class, oh, my mommy took me to the Playboy Mansion. And she was very concerned. She came up to me after school and she said, excuse me, but your son said you took him to the Playboy Mansion. And I said, I did.
Good for you.
Yeah, I did.
You.
I said, I'm a friend of Hef's. I was in Playboy. You know, I know a lot of the girls, and yeah, I take him. So what, basically? And she was like, oh, wow, do you think you could get me in too? I'm like, no.
Well, you know what? I think it's just everything has to be seen in context. And when you pull something out of context, like that's why I asked you, so how did they respond? But they were young and they went and they saw the animals and it's a beautiful mansion. And so when you see it in that context, it's very different than taking a teenage boy to the Playboy Mansion.
Right. Well, and everybody's fully dressed and it's not like this crazy place that people make it out to be. It's, you know, well, it's not, you know, nobody goes there now, but I mean, I'm talking about at that time.
Right,
it
sure.
was very, very classy, nothing crazy going on. It's just a regular place, you know. So my boys thoroughly enjoyed the memories. You know, they look back and they're like, oh, I had a lot of fun growing up because I took them everywhere. I was taking, not just to photo shoots in the Playboy Mansion, but I was taking them to Disneyland. I always took them to the beach. You know, we did real stuff. I always spent a lot of time with my boys, and even now, I try to spend as much time as I can with them. I was making a joke with one of my best friends recently how all my followers probably assume I'm just hanging out on private jets and partying it up, but I'm really just hanging out at home with my kids pretty much every night, you know. So,
I mean, the image that you set forth on Instagram, as we know, is very different than the reality for people. I mean, it's two different lives.
100%, 100%. Like, I mean, just the fact that I work with so many models as well. And, you know, they're very sexy. And I've had a lot of sexy photos on the internet as well. I was in Maxim, Sports Illustrated, FHM, you know, and all my photos are very provocative. But I try to keep it as tasteful as possible, just because I never wanted to embarrass my boys either. But, you know, I've made a really good living off modeling, and I've been very fortunate. So,
and how do the boys react to the photos? How is that, like, they'll see the photos, will you sit with them and go through it? Will they say, Mom, why are you doing this? Is that a conversation?
They don't ever look at my photos. And when my younger one actually did Google me once, and he was a little disappointed. He was probably about 8 or 9. And he was like, Mom, why do you have photos in a bra? I was like, I'm sorry.
Because it pays the bills.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not a big deal. I've only done nude, you know, once, and that was for Playboy. And other than that, I have not done anything else nude. Everything else has just been, you know, bikini lingerie and clothes.
Right.
So, you know, I had to explain it to him. I'm just a model. Don't be alarmed. It's okay. And other than that, they don't Google me. They don't want to look at my photos. They don't care to see me on Instagram. I would never let them follow me anyway, just because I don't want my followers to, you know, find them and start stalking them or anything like that. So, and I'm very private about where I live. I try not to ever post where I'm at, just, you know, for safety reasons.
Right.
Just because I have been recognized a lot, and I never want anyone to put my children at risk. So,
what's your biggest challenge, you would say, as a single mom?
Honestly, just trying to be a good role model for my boys and making sure that they are very aware of what's going on in the world, you know? So just trying to be as honest with them as I can about how men are online and how to treat women in the future, and, you know, just everyday stuff.
They're very lucky to have you.
Thanks.
Sounds like you know what you're doing as a mom, and it's great. I hope that our viewers are watching this to realize that when you have a passion and when it pays the bills and you can live a good life and provide for your children, there should be no shame in what you do.
Right. I agree.
You know, you said that you were shamed in the beginning. And I mean, who is anyone to judge what you do when you're not hurting anyone? You're
Exactly. No, I agree 100%. And I was really nervous about coming on and talking about being a mom. And then, you know, obviously explaining that I have a 16-year-old, people are going to be like, wait, how old are you? And I'm under 40. I'm 36. Okay, let's just get that out there.
Oh, wow.
Coming out of the closet again.
You came out twice already today.
I know. Oh my gosh. So now you guys know everything. Everyone knows. So that way we can just get that out of the way. Because I've had a few people also who've been following me for a really long time, like, oh, Krystle still got it. And then I've had other people be like, dude, you're like 50 already. And I'm like, 50?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, please.
I mean, I'm sitting here with you and you are just gorgeous and you have this beautiful energy. And you know what? You could never tell from your Instagram pictures who you are in real life. And sitting across from me right now and talking to you and as a mother, and the fact that you're so protective of your boys, to me has just, I have so much respect for you.
Oh, thank you.
And what you're doing is really admirable. And I hope for any single moms watching right now, that I hope that you're giving them that strength to know that you can do it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
You know, and I'm very excited to see what the next chapter of your life holds for you.
Oh, thank you.
And if there was anything you wanted to tell moms watching right now.
Well, basically, if you have a passion, do it. Don't be afraid to just go for your dreams just because you have children. It is doable. It's just very hard, you know, especially if you want to keep your kids' lives private, you know. I don't bash people who want to post their kids all over their Instagram. I think that some people, it's good for their brand and that's great. For me, I just didn't feel it was good for my brand because of, you know, being like more of a glamour model.
Right.
So, you know, as long as you're safe and, you know, not posting where you live, not posting anything too personal, I think it's fine. And, just never think because you have a kid you can't do it.
Love that. That's great advice. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And we hope to see you again very soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, my pleasure. And you met Krystle Lina right here in the studio at Focus TV Network, and she came out twice. So if you missed it, make sure to watch the episode. So excited that we got a chance to meet you here.
Yeah, no, great meeting you.
And we'll see you guys next time.